Bill Collector, where I'm Bill Collector. How's it going today? Mother's Day was the other day. And so I hope you guys got to celebrate your mothers, whether they're here or not. Their love for us is eternal. And once again, like I said, I hope you got to celebrate your mother that day, as I did. And I don't live too far from my mom, and I probably should get over there more. But that's all in hindsight. I did get to see her on Sunday, and it was nice. And like clockwork, minutes after I get there, the spiritual debate starts to happen. And I'm not going to really get into that, but it was a short one, and it wasn't too bad. And we still love each other after every time we have these conversations. We're not on the same page, to say the least. But she loves me, and I love my mom back. So, Mom, if you ever see this, love you. And then the same day, a little while after I saw my mom, I went with my dad over to the convalescent home where his mom is staying. And to say the least, she's 95 years old and things aren't looking so great right now. And it's kind of saddening, you know. But I'm mostly concerned for my dad, growing up, I saw my dad cry one time, and that was when his dad died. I think I was 18, 19 when that happened. And going your whole life without seeing your old man cry, and then you see it on that kind of occasion, it shows that no matter how strong you are, we all have our tipping points. And I don't know how much longer my grandmother's going to be around, but I've got memories to last a lifetime of her. And funny thing, I won't really go into my grandmother's whole story, but she is from Argentina. I'm the firstborn American kid from that side of the family, and we had a special bond. And let's just say, through my whole life, she's been there for it all too, just like my mom. And she has seen the worst of it all. And I'll just get straight to the point. After I was divorced and she had seen all my custody bullshit, my child support bullshit, she didn't want that to happen to me again. And she told me to wrap it up. And I'm going to wrap that up right there. I love you, Shema. And if I don't see you again, we'll see you on the other side. All right. So the Angels had a no-hitter last night by rookie Reed Detmers, and it was a complete game. No, dude, old school shit, dude. I almost like didn't even want to look this morning when I heard about it because like, God, dude, this is a fucking 15 pitcher no-hitter. Nah, kid did it all by himself. And that's pretty rad in a day where, you're lucky to get 5 complete innings if you get a runner on base. So Reed Detmers, sick job, bro. All right, well, I did kind of mention in the description of the show that we got some mail. And well, fuck it. We'll just show you what I got. So let's see. I pre-cut these so we can see what's going on. Oh, sick. See. Got, what do they call this? I don't even know what the hell they call this. And with all this glare, I can't even see what year it is. But I believe it's 2000 and... Shit. I don't even know. But this it looks like a painted card. Couldn't even tell you who the artist is, but I really liked it and got it for a great price. So that's how we gain entry into the Clark collection. Is you got to be affordable, man. I'm not spending a lot of money on cards as I couldn't when I was a kid. So try to keep this collection to a budget, and it's working out just fine doing it that way. See what we got in this next one. All right, now I tend to talk about the Will Clark stuff all the time. You see the the wall back there. Well, I have a couple other collections going, even though they're not quite as big. I mean, not even quite as big. And one of my favorite basketball players of all time is Pistol Pete Maravich. If you've seen the videos of this cat coming up in the 70s college basketball, I mean, he was a flat out maniac on the court. And scored this for a very affordable price. And I mean, it's in great condition. And look, it's the perforated one. And the I believe the Magic and the Bird, and I believe it's Dr. J's on the other. Somebody just sold that thing at auction for a grip, but this isn't for sale. Oh, look, right about, yeah, there goes some Pistol Pete there, right there, and that's going into that collection as well. All right, what's next? Hmm. Guys know who Fred Lynn is? Fred Lynn was a bad baseball player, man. This dude was off the hook. And pretty much after I'm done opening the mail, that's who I'm talking about today, because I'm elaborating on the little collection of cards that I had already started to put together regarding Fred Lynn. And this is his rookie card right here, 75 tops. And there was Gary Carter came out of that class. And I don't know who these other dudes are, but Fred Lynn's a star of that card. And that's for darn sure. But I've always liked Fred Lynn. I just hadn't had much to really organize in regards to him. All right, cool. So check this out. This is Panini Flux. What the flux, dude? I mean Panini. Dude, you guys come up with all kinds of wild stuff. But another Pistol Pete for the collection. And like that's a 2020 Panini Flux basketball. The 2021 Will Clark by Tops. Don't know what the hell the set's called, but there goes the thrill. Looking all mean with the eye black on. That's a great looking card. Can't wait to put that in. Straight up. Said it once, I'll say it again. Baseball cards, they're not cool. So don't use any of that in your pickup lines, because you're gonna go home alone. All right. Next envelope. I bought this little lot for the green one. Got this one already. So if you're a Will Clark fan and you ain't got that, holla at your boy. But that's I said I'm not into all the variations. I'll pick up the affordable ones. But I've seen this card, I believe in purple, for like 200 bills, bro. I'm not fucking buying it. Not buying it. But I did get that one for a very affordable cost. If you're just joining, what's cracking? Just kind of going through the latest mail I've received in regards to what I'm collecting. It's not just Will Clark. What's this? All right. I mean, I go on eBay and stuff and look for baseball cards. I have people that know I'm a Will Clark collector and will grant me with their Will Clark cards and other mementos regarding Will Clark. And this one right here, I'm trying to figure out what the hell it is. So let's see, Billy. Oh, we'll just read the note. Billy, or Yo Billy. I was about to put this in my mementos box and not to see it again for too long a time when a brilliant thought struck me. Hey, I know someone who will treasure this at least as much as I. Enjoy, Lil. So I believe, oh no, I don't believe. I know for certain. This is my lady Lindsay's aunt, Lil. And so it's a great lady. Her husband, Walter, who we call Wah, from Boston, but he's a diehard Yankee fan. So much that his license plate says Jeter too. So he loves him some Derek. Well, let's see what this is. Um, okay, so took a little article remembering Jackie Robinson in town where it started. So I oh, okay, this is in regards to Cairo, Georgia, and Boys and Girls Club. So I'll have to read that a little bit later. But it's baseball related, and people will send me stuff. So I really like the history of baseball, and that's kind of that's where I'm pulling from. When I'm doing art, it's from the past. When I'm collecting, it's relics from the past, my past. And this relic card is of a 1987 Topps. And this is 2022 product. And once again, this is how I know Will Clark was a badass and how he's still a very popular player. Is because they still add him into the sets. Why would you add him if you didn't know there'd be people out there looking to score those cards? All right. Last piece of mail for now. What a doozy. Another Fred Lynn rookie. This one's not quite in as good shape as the other one. Nor is that fucking yellow damn top loader. Look at that. Jeez Louise. That thing's been sitting there for a long ass time. Fred Lynn, bad dude. And here we go. Team checklist from oh dude, I'll tell you what. Mint cards, this and that. But this is what I love about baseball cards. You may get the one where the kid was starting to check off the back, dude. This is way more awesome than a mint untouched card to me. This is a lived card. This card made it out, and it made it into my collection where it's gonna. I don't know if it's gonna live forever. I mean, until the next asteroid hits, at least. I may have mentioned in the past. I didn't really get to collect with my son because of the strenuous divorce my ex-wife and I had. So the weekends that I had him, and we were trying to do a lot more other stuff than sit around the house and collect baseball cards. Although he had some and I still had mine, but it was just nothing we really did. And I knew he liked the Dodgers when he was a kid, but I didn't know till he was a late teenager that his favorite player was Chipper Jones. And so, believe me, as soon as I found that out, I went bonkers putting together a Chipper Jones collection for my son. I don't know when the hell I'm going to give it to him. He's 20 right now. He's going to be 21 next month. He's not thinking about baseball cards. But one day, he will be. And that'll be the day that I break it out to him. So, anyways, you saw I got a couple Fred Lynn's right here. And it's really kind of a collection that's been building in the shoebox. Had a nice little stack going. And sure enough, I wanted to add to it. Now, I'm sure some of you might know who Fred Lynn is, and some of you may have never heard of this guy in your life. But in regards to the all-time center fielders in baseball, he ranks, and you may have never heard of him. Fred Lynn, I believe he was born in Illinois. I wrote some notes, but that wasn't one of them. But I do believe he was born in Illinois and ended up out here in Southern California, just basically 2 cities down from where I grew up in Monrovia, California. And he went to El Monte High School. Like I said, just down the road from where I grew up. And I believe he's around the same age as my old man. A couple years older, but not much. And Fred Lynn, I mean, he went on to start his career with Boston like gangbusters. I mean, before Ichiro, Fred Lynn was the first MVP and Rookie of the Year in the same year, and he also won the Gold Glove that year. So if that's not a way to start your career, I don't know what is. But yeah, he went on to win 4 straight Gold Gloves from that point on, 9 straight All-Star games. And I was almost like not even bring this up. Well, I will, because it's pertinent. It's about him. I like nicknames. You know, Will the Thrill Clark. It's one of the best nicknames in all of baseball history. How many kids? The Kid. I mean, I feel like Gary Carter was the Kid. Ted Williams, Ken Griffey. That's a played out nickname. But I looked, and Fred Lynn's nickname is Fred. So nothing special there. I guess that's what happens when your name is Frederick. You get called Fred for your nickname. But he was part of what they called the Gold Dust Twins with Jim Rice in the outfield in Boston. And I don't even want to know what the hell the Gold Dust Twins means. What does that mean? That's like a 70s thing or something, because it don't sound right. But whatever. But yeah, Fred Lynn also hit the first grand slam in Major League Baseball history, All-Star game. And as I was researching Fred Lynn, he went on to talk about that specific at bat in the All-Star game. And this kind of coincides with some of the stuff I've been hearing Will Clark talk about on the Deuce's Wild Show with Eric Burns, because hitting comes up like on the regular. And Will Clark talks about just having an approach at the plate. And so this was the All-Star game, and they walked Robin Yount, who was the previous year's MVP, to get to Fred Lynn. And at Fred Lynn's recalling, he goes, man, only one other time in my life has somebody walked the guy ahead of me to get to me. And that resulted in a major home run in his collegiate career with the USC Trojans. So, anyways, they walk Yount to get to Fred Lynn. So right off the bat, I'm taking it. I never made it past high school baseball, so I wouldn't know. But I think like for a for a badass in a lineup, that's got to be one of those things that pisses you off, and it did. It pissed Fred Lynn off, and so I'm getting to the approach. So right off the bat, the pitcher gets ahead of him really quick 0-2 with two breaking balls. And then he fouls a couple fastballs off. So in his mind, he told himself, I'm gotta look, I gotta look breaking ball here. And he said, if the guy threw a fastball, he probably would have struck out. But he got the pitch that he wanted, and he hit a tank for a grand slam. And just to hear the pros talk like this, like it's not just going up there and swinging the bat. And then you also hear about Will Clark again talking about prying good hitters' brains, like picking their brains. Why do they do certain things that they do? And then he also brought up an incident where Will Clark was hooking balls to right field. And he asked Barry Bonds, who was a Giant at the time, like, why you think I'm hooking them? And they had their talk. And then Barry Bonds wanted to know how Will Clark could hit the ball the other way. And so you have these conversations and you pick people's brains. And it kind of led into like, how can I explain this? It seems like, and I remember this when I was 16, 17, 18 years old, thinking I fucking knew everything. And you don't. And so if you keep your ears open and your mouth shut mouth shut more, you're able to receive this stuff without the noise. So anyways, just an approach. I think it's cool listening to these guys talk about the angles that they take and the things that they do to be successful. But back to Fred Lynn. The dude hit 306 home runs. And make a long story short, as a center fielder, that only ranks behind Willie Mays, Ken Griffey Jr., Mickey Mantle, Duke Snider, Dale Murphy, Joe DiMaggio, Jim Edmonds, and Andrew Jones. That's not a lot of people. And he's one of those guys that, okay, 4 Gold Gloves to start off his career. This dude was an electric outfielder, and he would dive for balls. He'd run into the wall. And that was kind of like, oh, yeah, Duncan Dad, bro. Fred was a great player. Thanks for jumping on, dude. I'm reading what he's saying. Dude, hard work, man. And that's what it is. It seems like the era is different, and I'm noticing it. More grinders back in the day. And I'm not slighting the players today, but just things like uniforms, the tailored uniforms today, as opposed to you just got whatever fucking uniform you got back in the day. It's a different time, and I'm trying to adjust as a fan on watching this, because what I saw as a kid was amazing. The game was different, and like I said, sliding into second base anymore. I mean, seems like you're going to get called. You're going to get what am I looking to say? You're looking to get called for something bad, just sliding into second base these days, when back in the day, like Ty Cobb used to spike the shit out of players. And I'm not saying that that's what I want. I'm just saying I'm trying to adjust as a fan, man, because what I was watching when I was a kid was ridiculous. So anyways, Fred Lynn, he lost a lot of games to injuries, man. And he still came up with those numbers. And it's pretty wild that it wasn't people weren't juicing back then and weren't talking about juiced balls and it's just man, I sound like an old man right now just talking shit. So, anyways, I first came to light about Fred Lynn when he was an Angel, and that's because when he was an Angel, I was like at that age where I, you know, remembering stuff, and I think it was like 7 or 8, and the guy was a great player, and you know, these guys tend to be forgotten when they shouldn't, because before Fernando Tatis, there was the Jeters and the A Rods who I can't really stand, and Nomars, and like I said, history. And it all kind of just leads up to where it is today, and it's kind of too commercial for me. It's like so commercial that the team that I like, the Dodgers, I can't watch them unless I pay the package, and I'm not paying the toll. It's not worth it anymore. And I'm not bored enough to sit there and watch 80 games in a year anymore. I did that for a couple years, and god damn, that's a lot of baseball for the Dodgers just to not win the World Series. So over it, man. Over it. Now, I feel like I should be talking about my art more, and I plug it in. It's what's on the walls. You can see a lot of it. Because I gotta sell shit to stay afloat. FYI, go to my website, BillCormalisJr.com. That's my sales bullshit for the show. But I've mentioned before, I don't really do graded cards. No, I mean I don't do graded cards, period. So I've been noticing stuff on the internet, going on eBay and checking cards out. I've seen tons of cards that they're just not even centered. They're not tens, dude. Just get out of here. They're not tens. And they call them tens. So since I'm a smartass, I decided to design my own label. And if it makes my collection to Gem 11. So there's that. Just thought I'd show you that. Now, I mentioned before, I get people sending me stuff. And excuse me, I'm just going to kind of read what's going on over here. What's happening, Steve? I appreciate you coming on the show, dude. What is my well, look, like, are you talking about like when I'm making stuff, Duncan Dad? I love the 86 tops. That's my absolute favorite baseball card of all time. And it's probably because the Will Clark rookie comes from there. But for me, the simplicity of it, the way it's broken down with the black and the white, and then they literally made a font. That's it. For me, like who's kind of like in the design realm, that's all important to me. Like what's going on with today's cards is outrageous. I've mentioned it before. It's just literally outrageous with what's going on. Like, is it embossed, prism, holographic, this, and that. And I'm glad I don't collect any of the players from today because it would suck to be a collector today. Frankly speaking, you just don't have the options. When I was a kid, it was like, I mean, Fleer, Donruss, Upper Deck, Tops, Score, and that's just 5 right off the top of my hand. And today it's Tops and logoless Panini, whom owns Donruss. So you basically have 2 companies making cards, and shit, dude, every year they just release a card as a 35th anniversary. So it's like every year, right? The last couple years, they're just re-releasing an 87 tops border, re-releasing the 86 tops, throw the little embossed 35th anniversary, and there we go. Just like everything else today, nobody can come up with a good fucking new idea. But yeah, back to yeah, always trying to get the special card. Oh, ugh. But yeah. But I mentioned people sending me stuff. Look, if you shoot the shit with me, or you trade with me, or you buy a piece of my art, that's basically a real easy way to be a friend. Okay, like, I mean, because you wouldn't fuck with me otherwise. You know what I'm saying? And so my friend Josh from Michigan, huge Detroit fan. I will probably bring this guy up time and time again because he's been a contributor to my Will Clark collection. He's been a contributor to art shows that I've had, and he's sent me stuff tons of times. I mean, it's like it's really cool. So he sent me a few Beckett's last month, and I'm kind of like going through and dissecting them. It's kind of fun. One, he sent me them because Will Clark was on the cover of one, and then he sent me the other two because Will Clark had art on the inside front cover, and then on one of them the inside back cover. Great artwork. And so, I have the magazines that he sent me already, but I only had the one copy, so I wasn't gonna like rip through it and take pictures out and things like that. But I did these because now I have the extras. So here's one of them. This was a back cover, I believe, or a front cover, I don't know, of a Beckett, and I threw it in a frame, so I'll slap this on the wall here pretty soon. But that's some pretty cool artwork by D. Smith, 1990, 1991. And here goes another one. Another cool shot of the Thrill doing that thing with the sweet swing. I mean, this back then didn't even this just meant like the natural, like the movie, like the natural ball player. Also goes to mean motherfucker wasn't jamming a needle in his ass either. Funny. And the last one that I yanked the cover off is that bad boy right here. I'll try to figure out a way to get that sticker off, or I might just paint it to fade into that. And well, guess what? If you're a Kirby Puckett fan, you should get that magazine so you could have that picture for your collection. My bud Jeremy and my little brother Chris, that was their favorite player growing up, as far as I remember. So I'm kind of, with my posts on Instagram and whatnot, I'm kind of just leaving little Easter eggs as to what this program's going to be about. Fleer 91 Fleer provision. It's ringing a bell. What color was that? I wish I had my thing with me, but yeah, Fleer. Because if I don't have that thing, I definitely want to get that. Black, and had the. Oh yes, I remember that. I'm sure I got it right there in the book. Back to my posts. I'm trying to kind of like leave little Easter eggs as to what this program's going to be about. And the other day, I posted this. Dude, getting back into these Beckett's, like looking at them, it's bringing back a lot of memories. Because I spent a lot of time like, well, shit, dude. Like, we learned how to grade our cards physically back in the day, but you didn't send it to somebody. You just learned how to grade your damn card. and you got to see what cards were going up and down in value. And this right here is the perfect example of what I'm talking about. Like, without even like going into the magazine, which, like I said, had all the prices, but this, it'd take you back to the 48 Bowman and let you know what the current prices were. And I'm sure if Beckett still has a magazine, it's the same. But I just don't buy it anymore because I don't care about the value of cards. What I care about is remembering how cool it was to be a collector when I was a kid. And so this right here is called the Weather Report. And okay, we'll just read it. Before rushing out to buy the newest hot cards, read the fine print on the Weather Report beauty contest. And so this magazine, I believe, here we go. It's from December of 1989. Now, I mean, I don't know if I should just read the damn article because it's kind of fucking cool and it will occupy some time. Let's see. Duncan Dead Tops traded always had those choice rookies. Yeah, 52 Mantle. I might give up my youngest kid for that card, but he's almost 21, so I don't know how if he's gonna agree with that. I'm gonna read this. Fuck it. All right. Way down in a dusty corner of this page sits something called the fine print. Reading the fine print is like reading the instructions before assembling a model. You do not have to do it, but it makes the job a lot easier. The Weather Report's fine print consists of 4 words. Reader input determines rankings. It's as simple as that. Readers send in their hot and cold lists, and we count the votes. The order of the player on the list doesn't matter because the votes are not weighted. 10 for the first, 9 for the second, etc. We also count only 1 vote per player list. Pete Rose, Pete Rose, Pete Rose equals 1 vote for Rose, not 3. Now, at the back of this book, I believe it's at the back of this magazine, is what they're talking about. You literally filled it in, mailed it, they tallied the votes, and then, I don't know, it might have been the next month they published the rankings. The Weather Report is a beauty contest, not necessarily an indicator of card values. Factors besides popularity influence prices. The supply of a particular card, the perception of investment potential, and the player's most recent on-the-field performance. In particular, the playoffs and World Series focus attention on a few teams and their premier players. Rickey Henderson's leap from nowhere to number 14 hot illustrates this point. While most of the hot and cold lists basically mirror the successes and failures of the 89 season, Henderson's jump can be traced to his performance in the ALCS, which showcased his second half contributions to Oakland's success. In the NL, the 600-plus playoff outbursts of the natural and his rival at first base for the Cubs grabbed everyone's attention. While Will Clark can only firm his grip on the top rung, Mark Grace moved up 5 notches to number 6. The Thrills' teammate Matt Williams also made a strong NLCS impression with a 12-pitch at-bat that resulted in a game-winning home run. Williams' playoff performance boosted him from 28th to 17th. On the other hand, Jerome Walton's move from 8th to 4th on the hot list was as much a result of the hoopla created by his limited card availability and fine season as his playoff performance. The consensus Rookie of the Year since his midseason batting streak, Walton's only regular issue was a Bowman. Once the extended sets appeared, the stampede began. But what can the Cubs center fielder do for an encore next year? Look out, Icebox. Speaking of which, this month, our cold heroes shuffle around a bit, stamping their feet and trying to generate some heat, but not much happened. Don Mattingly slipped out of the freezer, but chants of Daryl, Daryl echo inside the door. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, someone once said. In the weather report beauty contest, the beholder may need eye black to ward off hot list hype. Well, I just wanted to read that because it's kind of how it is today. And now we have social media involved, and things can get out of control faster. Wander Franco. Okay. So for me, this is who Wander Franco is right now. As being, and don't tell me he's proven. A combined 2 years that equal one season's worth of games, that's a season. When you could put together 4 or 5 good years, you're a real superstar, not just a flash in the pan guy or a hype job. So right now, for me, what Wander Franco is Greg Jeffries. He's every hype job rookie that either is or isn't going to be the next big thing. Ken Griffey Jr. was that. I mean, when he came out, I was already full-fledged collecting Will Clark cards. Will Clark, as at the time, 89, he'd already had 2 great seasons, was becoming and was a superstar. And then Ken Griffey Jr. comes in, and what the Public Enemy song say? Don't believe the hype. So I don't. And you know what Ken Griffey turned around to do? It's not that I didn't like Ken Griffey Jr. It's like, well, shit. The MLB promotes the players they want to promote. So these days, it's Tatis isn't playing right now, so it's not him. But you know, the Wander Franco, this guy gets a lot of press, and he's sitting there on the team with Randy freaking Arozarena, who has led that team to the deep playoffs the last 2 years and is the rookie of the year from last year. Like nobody talks about Arozarena, but that kid seems pretty solid for coming on his 3 years in a row. Yeah, for sure. Well, look, Griffey was it was literally the new generation. It was wild because he was actually like, I don't know, maybe if I was a couple years younger, I would have really been on it, but he was definitely the most marketable thing baseball had ever seen to that point. And it really did pan out. Ken Griffey Jr.'s, depending on who you talk to, he's a top guy in all of baseball history from what he brought to the game. 5-tool player, just everything. And that goes back to what Fred Lynn was, okay? Injuries, that's some real stuff. And Will Clark suffered them. Fred Lynn suffered them. And in the end, it's just the numbers that suffer. And it seems like now I'm going to kind of go into the Hall of Fame. It seems like the Hall of Fame is going to need to make a huge facelift on what it is that they're going to let into the Hall of Fame, because the way the game is played today, okay, Miguel Cabrera, he got his 500th home run and 3,000th hit. I saw the list of players in the current game who are going to be, I mean, might do it. Like Jose Altuve might do it if his body can hold up. And he might, because he's a little guy. He's not carrying all kinds of weight around the field. But in regards to 500 home runs, I don't even know who's the closest now. You think Machado? He's good, dude. If you see me just kind of like, it's because somebody's in the chat section and I'm talking to these guys. I hated Machado at first, dude, but he seemed like he's growing up the last couple years, and that's good to see, because That kid has mad, mad, mad skills. He's a great third baseman and a great hitter. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's all about injuries or staying healthy. So we'll see what happens. But the Hall of Fame is going to need to amend what's going on. And I feel like, yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it, dude. And I feel like the Hall of Fame really is going to need to like adjust because the players aren't going to have the numbers. So I think the Hall of Fame should start with voting in those fringe guys from back in the day, the Will Clarks and the Don Mattingleys. Because look, dude, it's called the Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame. These guys. All right. The reason I'm saying Will Clark and Don Mattingly especially is because I literally Don Mattingly is so popular today still. I make more money on selling Don Mattingly stuff than any other player. And why? Because Don Mattingly was a beast. Will Clark was a beast. Not personally know. I can verify almost 300 current Will Clark collectors across the country. That's fame. That's fame. We're still doing it because he was famous. You don't make 6 All-Star games by not being famous. You're not the top vote getter in the league by not being famous. You're the most famous guy in the league. And so with the steroid era and the Hall of Fame being really kind of like not going to let those guys in, or at least anytime soon, they got to pull from that era. I mean, that 80s class of baseball was bonkers, dude. The players that came out of that era were ridiculous, and some of them got caught up, some of them didn't. But there's no like middle ground. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Will Clark took steroids, bonker. But he just wasn't that type of guy. Anyways, like I said, dude. Hey, everybody joining in. I appreciate you guys. Pete, what's up? Eric, what's happening, dude? And yeah, so that's how I feel, man. The baseball's changing. I'm trying to get used to it, and I feel like I witnessed the last. I mean, think about it, man. The Clayton Kershaws and the Justin Verlanders and the Max Scherzer era. Those guys are going to be done soon, and then what's going to become of pitching in baseball? Like, is somebody ever going to win 150 games? 150. Is anybody going to win that anymore? Times are changing, fellas. And baseball, they're whining that they want more fans, but they're putting fans like me, like they don't want it. I don't know why. So once again, I appreciate you. Thanks for watching The Bill Collector, where I'm Bill and I'm a collector, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Take it easy, guys.